1969 Cadillac DeVille.
Nice.
It's a Cadillac from 1969.
Cadillac convertible. Brought to you by I'll Have the Ham. This is a car for the man who owns a Harley trike conversion. He does own a helmet, and he does wear it, but it's one of those white, open-faced, dirty old things from 1991. The padding is all compressed, so all it does is just wobble around on his head. He's eating healthier now, and this is his own decision. But when his Lions Club buddies look at him eating a garden salad with smoked salmon, he says, "Doctor says I can't eat red meat anymore." 69, nice, Cadillac DeVille. Cool in its own time, but now it's like Matthew McConaughey in Dazed and Confused. Sure, it's still Matthew McConaughey, but this shouldn't be near anybody under the age of 18. Welcome to Pimp Slap, the car. It's got vault-heavy doors that close with a slam. Electric seats and power windows that are trying to work. A power antenna that doesn't work. Air conditioning that doesn't work. And a parking brake that's very weird to operate. It pops out once you shift out of park. And the trunk can fit a full-size tire, a guitar, and me. Behold the majesty of upholstery that smells like a Cessna 172 of similar vintage. Shake with reverence at the sight of not 1, 2, not 3, but 4 cigarette lighters. Because anywhere can be flavor country if you just believe in yourself. This is the dream car for someone who has never asked the question, "Hey, what's the Wi-Fi here?" 69, nice, Cadillac DeVille. Because I'm living in one of the most significant periods in human history, but I didn't notice it because I'm in the back of this car every Saturday night, munching on biological upholstery and drinking Smirnoff from a Penn State hip flask. Engine displacement is 472 cubic inches because we're Cadillac and we gotta have odd engine sizes. That's 7.7 liters. It's a big block V8. The 472 engine was introduced in 1968 to combat the Chrysler 440 and the Lincoln 460 and 462. It has a 4.3 inch or 109 millimeter bore. Each piston has a bore of 4.3 inches or 109 millimeters, and it has a stroke of 4.6 inches or 103 millimeters. And this engine is a good example of why Cadillac was a revered name in the 1950s and 60s and early 1970s. This 472 cubic inch engine wasn't shared with the rest of GM brands. Not Chevy, Buick, Olds, or GMC. You had a Cadillac, you got a Cadillac engine. Neither were parts of the suspension shared, or body panels, or interior switches, dashes, levers, doors. Even the glass sometimes was unique to Cadillac. If you bought a Cadillac in the mid-20th century, you expected something exclusive. You're driving a Cadillac. You've ascended past your neighbors. The grass is greener on your side. This engine, you'd say, can't get it in any other car. And then you'd pause for a beat and say, only Cadillac. This car is the opposite of a Volkswagen Phaeton, or even Maseratis of late. Luxury cars that stealthily blend into traffic. No, this 69, nice, Cadillac was made to shine like a fire truck in a parade. Look at what I've achieved. And people are happy for your achievement. They're happy to see you. That was how they subtextually marketed Cadillacs in the 60s. These are your reward for a lifetime's work. Look at Larry. He drives a Cadillac now. You know, someday I'm going to be right there with him. Cadillac. You too can achieve this status through sober, honest application of the self. Cadillac's image has faded now in 2018, along with modernism's prime belief that hard work equals reward. Now all caddies are GMCs with different bodies. Why buy an Escalade when it's just a Yukon? Who are you fooling? No one says bling bling anymore. Where was I? Oh yeah, the big positive with this engine at the time was that it used 10% fewer parts and 25% fewer gasketed joints over the previous generation of this engine, although it's 84 pounds heavier than the previous generation. This DeVille also has a 3-speed automatic, which is the Turbo Hydromatic 400 transmission. No overdrive. Meanwhile, the carburetor is a Rochester Quadrajet. Quadrajet? Quadrajunk. Quadrajet? Quadrasuck. Okay, Quadrajet carburetors. Tiny main barrels, huge huge secondaries. Most 4-barrel carburetors will have small primaries, and their secondaries may be a little bit larger, but nothing like a quadrajet. This is the 1960s version of variable intake runners. The idea was that you'd have tiny little primaries for just tooling around town, and then when you get on it, whoa! It's a neat idea in theory, but it didn't really make more power than a properly jetted Edelbrock or Holley. People just liked these carburetors for how they sounded. That big transition into the secondaries. That sound. Thundering like the fist of a god whose lawn is being violated by a game of tag. This is how it started. You get all the gunk and crap right here floating around in your rocker cover.
Yep.
And let's just pipe it right onto the air cleaner.
Exactly.
So your air cleaner can get all oily and dirty faster. This is the very, very beginnings of it. And then you had smog and all that into the 70s.
Before the power went down, but still when they started changing things.
Cadillac claimed back in the day that this engine made 375 horsepower and 525 pound-feet of torque, which makes this practically a diesel engine. But remember, when they rated engine horsepower back in the day, it wasn't at the wheels, and it really wasn't at the crank. Yeah, it was at the crank, but the engine was on a stand, with no accessories on it, not even an alternator, and they had a total loss water system going in. So alright, yeah, when the engine's completely unladed, it's gonna get those numbers. This weight is close to 5,000 pounds, and the rear end ratio is 2.94. So it accelerates smoothly. But the thing is, it keeps accelerating until you run that 26-gallon fuel tank dry, because the estimated mileage is like 8 miles a gallon. This car's length is 18 feet and 3/4, just shy of 19 feet long. And it loves swallowing gas more than infants love swallowing pennies. This car is basically a Joey Diaz story on 4 wheels.
Listen, dog, you roll a Cadillac through North Bergen, New Jersey, broads would leap at your pussy first like they're trying to sell Amway.
We love you, Uncle Joey. Ostrich leather interior. The idea was ostrich leather was believed to be more weather and sun resistant than a cow, what with this convertible and everything. Maybe it was also to make Cadillac more exclusionary. But ostrich leather is slippery, like Teflon. But you effortlessly slide in and oh yeah. Yeah, work is done. Effortless steering. Look, pinky finger. Effortless horn. Just squeeze the wheel. There's a contact strip running on the inside of the wheel. This 69 nice Cadillac rides as good as a 30-year newer Toyota Century. Rides better than a Tesla, easy. Gotta remember I have a gigantic dick nose. Whoa, 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 whoa. There's a lot of... This steering wheel is... It's like a cloud. How often do you get to ride in the back?
Not very often.
This is weird, like there's enough room in the back that I just stand.
That's actually the best way to get out from the back is once the seat is open, you just stand up and then just step out. Like that's. It's so.
For bike folks, this is like a Goldwing on 4 wheels. That smooth. And like a Goldwing, it's surprisingly fast. Watch this drop-top Cadillac pull on me and listen to me get salty on the radio because 1, I'm trying to film him, and 2, my NA Forester can't hang. Whoa, look at him go! Holy hell, dude!
I told him.
Stop, don't do that!
I told you it had good acceleration. I think it accelerates better than my IA. Alright.
Riding was just as good as driving on this afternoon in late summer. Touch of autumn in the air, and we had the heater on with the top down. Rolling around Lancaster, tossing thumbs up and joyful waves like softballs back and forth to people we saw. And not a whiff of envy from bystanders as we surged on. We were positive causality made real. Cadillac. The universe rewards hustle. We can all drink from the crystal chalice. The only variable is you. Cadillac DeVille. The official car of driving from New York to Delaware because cartons of cigarettes are cheaper.
Sponsored by licking the blow off of a stripper's balloon knot at 4 in the goddamn morning. and then rolling away with an exhaust note that sounds like Magic Carpet Ride and conjures memories of dry hand jobs from roller derby girls, calloused hands covered in chalk.
Get brown, 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 get brown.